So we've got a TvZ here, and I'm playing against a Wings of Liberty kind of platinum, high gold-ish player. Heart of the Swarm, gold, and I've been running into problems with mass Bane, Ling, Muta, Ling, Bane. It's been a tough thing for me, and I've also not been taking my third. So the most important thing for me right now is to take my third and deal with the Muta, Ling, Bane. It's just like a hard thing for me to deal with. I don't know why. Like I have a mental block against it or something. I don't know. So early command center. Pretty standard play. Build sort of a wall because I do a scan and see Banelings, so I know that if I'm going to get hit with anything, it's going to kind of be a Baneling bust. So this wall will sort of deal with that and also get my supply where it needs to be. Keep building SCVs, dropping mules, tank up on the high ground, another reactor, another tech lab, +1/+1. So that's one early thing I'm trying to remember, is start my upgrades as soon as possible, because I don't have an army yet, but that's okay because neither does he. So what I really need to do here is get I'm defensive, I need to get my upgrades going. I've got my armory here, so I've got my +2 ready to go. In the income tab, we're roughly even, and I've got all the mules, so I'm ahead. In the supply tab, I'm ahead. So again, I have no army right now, very little, and he has very little. So send a couple units out on the map, see what's going on. Tank's in good position. One eBay, second eBay, doing my upgrades. So he's taking his third. I'm just kind of messing, seeing what he's got. So mostly Ling force with some Bane, so I know that. Triple turret. Just want to make sure I don't get harassed by a bunch of mutas. These mutas are coming out. At this point, I'm getting my +2/+2. I'm getting my concussive shell, my combat shield, and I'm gonna kind of move out. My third's built. I'm gonna move out sort of an open, wide position here and sort of take position all up in here and all up in here, spreading my tanks. Take my third. This is, again, these are all new things for me. I'm really not spreading myself this thin usually. I'm not taking a third, but we're even in supply. I'm doing pretty good in upgrades. He's got 0/0 on his upgrades. His Lings have 0/0, so he's got nothing on the upgrade tab. And if you look at the army value, I'm getting +3 in my upgrades. I've got 13 Marauders, 38 Marines, 5 tanks. So now I'm starting to take my third. I've got gas on it. Supply depots, I'm maxing out on supply depots here. Building two more factories, one for Hellbats and another for tanks or Thors. And bringing turrets, putting supply depots down here just so that he can't run right in. He'd have to at least deal with some stuff. And now I'm getting my +3, +3, +2 attack on my weapons for my. I'm getting a Thor. I'm getting 3 more barracks. 1, 2, 3 for production. I'm at 200, 200. He's at 160. And I've got 70 harvesters. He's got 50. So I'll throw some scans down. Kind of push out a little bit here. He's got this really big force. Unfortunately, my force is clumped. So as per usual, I'm going to lose a lot here. So I lost a lot of Marines there. I'm building 9 more Marines at a time. Sending my Marauders back. So I wanted my Marauders in front in that first attack. That's the number one thing I need to remember. That was my big mistake here. My Marauders need to be in front, and my Marines need to be in the back. That's just number one, right there. So I gotta fix that. So now I'm just building a bunch of stuff. My +3 is done. He's got some Mutas here. He's making Ultras and Lings. And he's starting to work on upgrades. Ultras are 0-0. These Mutas are going to start taking on Marines and turrets, which is a bad idea. I've got tanks here. And I got Marine Marauder here. +3/+3 Marine Marauder. Crushes everything. He's still got Mutas. These Mutas are going to start to deal with my units, so now I start to push out with my units. He's taking out my Marines bit by bit. Building 10 Marines at a time. Got some Lings coming in. Got Thors pounding away. Marines, Marauders. That's the bulk of his force. He's going to work on my upgrades, but it doesn't matter. I've already got them all. So now he's at 120 and I'm at 120. If you look at the unit tab, he's got 17 Mutas and all of his Lings are back here. So that's pretty much a big chunk of his force. And my third is still going in the income tab. I'm getting about 17,000 per minute. I've got better upgrades. He's starting to get his upgrades now. His Lings are at 1-1. His Mutas are at 1-0. Making a bunch of Banes. I'm producing 9 Marines, 3 Marauders, Vikings, and Thors. So that was a pretty painful attack. But I'm almost remaxed. I'm at 180. And so now the key here is to learn from my mistake, which is spread out my units. Well, first thing I do a quick little drop. Pulling back by accident. That one dies. That one dies. It was completely unsuccessful. I should have gone around, but so I'm remaxing. And the key here for me is to make sure that when I engage, I spread my units. So I'm going to send in a couple units at a time, see where he's at. I see it's Muta, Ling, Bane again. I've dealt with this force a couple times. I know how to deal with it, hopefully. So now I start to spread my units. Take a big hit on the first group. Second group is still there. Marauders still alive. Marines still alive. Thors taking some heavy casualties. In the unit tab, he has no larvae left. He's building 46 Lings. I've got some Marine Marauder, Medevac with some Hellbats, building command centers. Remaxing on Marine Marauder Medevac. Kicking out of base. Looping up all my force. Sending one medevac to drop space. Moving my forces in here. Kicking out his ability to make infestors or swarm hosts. Coming in. Again, I'm remaxed again, 200, 200. In the unit tab, it's Thors, 23 Marauders, 30 Marines, 4th base working. Marines kind of in and around. Coming to his name. And that's that. So it's pretty tough. Like, almost died because of my battle micro, my engagement micro, which needs work. These command centers could get flown here and here. These guys aren't being used. These guys aren't being used. I've got a good saturation 18 on this base. So I've got more command centers that can be floated around. So even though that I've got a lot of SCVs not doing stuff, they're ready to go. The bases are ready to go. My army's maxed out again. Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at the graphs there. So, workers active, again, I did pretty well there. Upgrades, that was a big thing for me, working on my upgrades. Kind of had him beat in resource collection rate. I never got boxed in by not taking my 3rd. And army value, so this is a big point right here, is that he just tanked a ton of Bane damage and crushed my army, and I need to be better about that. Better at splitting, better at keeping my Marauders in front, keeping my Marines in the back and spread, and have little chunks of forces going in at a time, not my whole army. And then I remaxed pretty quick. I mean, I got to I remaxed pretty quick, and again, his maxes are higher than mine because he's using a lot of Mutas and Banes. But then it just goes all the way down to nothing again, and as long as I engage properly,